Multi-perspectivity. Multi-perspectivity. Multi-perspectivity.
All right, time to mark some final exams. Let's see what we got here. Well, at least you got the likeness pretty good. Oh, hello. My name is Peter Bushell. I want to give you a new perspective on the past. In this video, I want to talk about where our days of the week come from. So, why is it Thursday today? Well, at least for me filming, it's Thursday. Why is it not Monday today? Why are these our days of the week? Let's break them down together. First, why 7 days? That's a strange number. Why not 10, 5, 8? Why are our days of the week ordered this way? Why not Saturday, Sunday, Thursday? This is something that most of us see every day. These aren't just random names and numbers. Most of the world understands the week is holding 7 days now. And certainly, some of you might always want it to be the weekend all the time. But why do we have 7 days? And why do they have these unfamiliar names? What the heck is Friday, actually? Well, do you see any similarities here? All of them have the word day in them, right? Okay, that's a start. Certainly there's something attached to each day. Now, there is historical evidence that we can trace back to help us figure out a number of historical connections that are going on here. They span millennia and continents. Let's start with the linguistic evidence, tracing our modern English back to the early English forms. To do this, we need to go back to the meaning of the earlier form of the language. So what's going on here? This is the original meaning of these Old English words. But do you notice anything strange? Let's remove Saturn Day and Sunday and Moon Day here for a minute. So what's going on? Some of you may have already known Thursday is for the mighty Thor. So Norse gods. What are they doing here? You'd think we'd have some apostles or some Christian names in here, right? Why are pagan gods in our days of the week? Well, these are actually connected to very old Germanic gods. Hold on. Aren't these supposed to be Viking gods? Well, they're actually part of the same pantheon, all part of the same Germanic religion. And it was these old Germanic gods who moved north with the migrating Germanic peoples who would become the Scandinavian, Norse, or Viking peoples, if you will. Now, I'm sure some of you may be already thinking, what's up with Wednesday here? Well, Wednesday does not start with an O because it's actually derived from the Old English word Woden, for Odin. So it's really Woden's Day. So you have Tyr, god of war, Odin, All-Father, who sacrificed his eye and himself to gain knowledge and magic, Thor, the thunder god, and Frigg, goddess of motherhood, marriage, and love. But someone seems to be missing here. Now, based on your knowledge of Norse mythology drawn from Marvel movies, who's left out? Where's Loki Day, right? Well, do any of these other days seem out of place? Saturday after Saturn? That's something of a hint for later on when we go further back. What the heck is up with Saturday? Why would Saturday hold this connection to Saturn and not another major Germanic or Norse god? Why is Loki missing out here? Well, there's been some rather old, less reliable scholarship that has argued Saturday may have originally been connected to a pagan day for Loki. Though it's not clear Loki was ever really venerated or celebrated like the other gods were, there are endless places named after Odin and Thor, and nothing for Loki. Although Loki is he's in some runes and art, he just isn't revered as much. Plus, he did do some pretty horrible things to the other gods, Nevertheless, he's still part of their pantheon, and he does do some very helpful things in a sense too. So let's explore this. The original Scandinavian word for Saturday was lagerdag, which literally means to wash. But some say it could have been originally connected to Loka, which would have been day for Loki. But maybe this origin only evolved in Scandinavia. Some very old scholarship on this lists Satyr as a Germanic god connected to agriculture. Pardon the possible butchery of the pronunciation there. So this Satyr is cited as meaning the thief in ambush, and some have interpreted this as merely another personification of Loki. Could be this evolved into Saturday, and it may be that a pagan feast day for Loki was simply replaced at some point. So, in any case, we didn't know if any of this is really true. There's not much real evidence to support these theories. We just don't know for certain why Saturday is included with these Norse gods. Maybe the Germanic people chose not to replace older Latin convention. Nevertheless, if any Loki day did ever exist, did not make it through to today. So, sorry, Loki. Okay, so here is the meaning. Here it is in Old English. So it's these old Germanic gods and days of the week that were brought by another Germanic tribe moving north. Well, east too, actually. And it's the Anglo-Saxons who ultimately settled Britain. These were the first English speakers, though it was very different from modern English. So this helps us understand the answer to our question a little bit. These are the Anglo-Saxon names of gods and goddesses. But why gods and goddesses in the first place? Why 7 days? And why are they ordered like this? Now, to answer this, we need to go further back. Where do you think the Germanic peoples got their days of the week from? Well, this was a modification of the Roman days of the week. When the Roman Empire spread across Europe, so did their 7-day week. And it's these Germanic names of those gods that survived in the parts of Europe where Germanic languages continued to be used. And even later, spread by European imperialists, explorers, settlers, and merchants. Now, what about the French? This is not a Germanic language, and it's based on the Roman Latin. So this will help us a little more with our question here. The days of the weekend were Christianized. So you have the day of the Sabbath on Saturday and the Lord's Day on Sunday. So these do not help in our investigation here. But let's take a look at the Roman Latin, where most of these are drawn from. So these are the Roman gods and goddesses. Saturn, god of agriculture and time. Sol, the sun. Luna, goddess of the moon. Mars, the god of war. Mercury, messenger of the gods and associated with knowledge. Jupiter, god of the sky and thunder. And Venus, goddess of love, desire, sex, fertility. Now, the Roman gods and ideas on timekeeping were also an adaptation. They were drawn from the Greeks. The Romans actually started with 8 days of the week, but they shifted to align with Greek ideas. So let's look at the Greek. Here are the Greek names of these gods. Kronos, god of time and harvest. Ares, god of war. Hermes, god of messaging and communication. Zeus, god of thunder and ruler of the sky. And you have Aphrodite, the goddess of love, beauty, fertility, lust, and sexuality. Do you notice anything here about the choice of gods for the days? They're all somewhat related in terms of role. Now, certainly, if you're trying to impose a new calendar system on Germanic or Norse peoples, and told them that Thursday, today, was for the thunder god, they'd know exactly who that day really belonged to. Oh, you mean Thor, right? Now, we have a pretty good explanation for understanding the names of the days. But why are they ordered in that way? And why only 5 gods? Why only 7 days? What about Poseidon? What about Neptune? Well, this connects back to ancient Mesopotamian astronomy, about 4,000 years ago, and the planets that share these gods' names. Early Mesopotamians carefully studied the heavens, realizing that among the stars there was a handful of wandering objects in the sky, moving in distinct, recurring patterns. This is also actually the word the Greeks used for planets, planetas, which means wanderer. Well, Mesopotamian astronomers could see these objects moving through the sky in these predictable patterns, and people came to believe they were really connected to the gods. Why do you think the number 7 became so important in Mesopotamian understanding of time? Let's think about the planets that they could see with their naked eye. Well, first actually, let's think about the ones they could not see. They could not see Uranus or Neptune. Of course, they couldn't see Earth here, but they could see the moon. And it's that 7 celestial bodies, and it's these recurring 7 objects in the sky that were important enough to shape the entire Mesopotamian understanding of time. Their gods, too, were associated with these planets. The 7-day week was adopted to reflect the cosmic order governed by these bodies in space. Now, they could see all of these moving through the sky. They did not have modern telescopes or equipment, and to them, they reasoned that they orbited the Earth based off speed and distance. They were meticulous record keepers. They tracked the motions of the planets over centuries to understand their orbits, and using this speed and distance data, they concluded the order of the planets very differently than us today. So starting with the slowest and the furthest, now that's our 7 days of the week. Well, that's our 7-day week, but the order is messed up here. If Saturn ruled Saturday, why is it not besides Sunday? This doesn't make any sense. To understand the final piece of the puzzle, we need to see how Mesopotamian astronomy was merged with ideas of Egyptian timekeeping. The ancient Egyptians divided their time into 2 groups of 12 houses. Sound familiar? Hours, right? 12 houses in a day and 12 houses in the night. This eternal cycle. What do you think resides in these houses? Or maybe I should say, who rules over these houses? It's the gods. So we have these celestial bodies, this Mesopotamian, Greek, and Roman idea of gods associated with the planets, and the Egyptian idea that gods govern specific hours of the day. But how do you fit 7 into 24? It just doesn't work. Well, let's kind of mash them in there for now. And why are these specific days named after certain gods and goddesses? Many of you already are familiar with what the answer is to this. What's a modern system where people believe celestial bodies or stars influence their lives? It's horoscopes. So the way we think about horoscopes today comes from a mixture of ancient ideas shaped over centuries by Egyptian timekeeping and Mesopotamian and Greek scholars. See, people in the ancient world didn't just see planets. They believed every moment was ruled by those gods and goddesses out there in the cosmos. They quite literally believed gods ruled over every hour. So let's look at today, Thursday. Oh man, now I know why I was so angry at 9 o'clock. Oh, this is the hour of the god of war, Mars. Very dangerous time. Lots of arguments. But look, at 11 a.m., Venus is powerful. Be careful. Love's going to be in the air. Oh, somebody's going to take on ambitious plans at 3 p.m. Or if you got an important decision to make, you need to settle a dispute, you want to do it during the hour of Jupiter. This is a time of wisdom and authority. Okay, so the final part to this is fitting 7 planets into 24 houses. So you reach 24, and you carry it into the next day. And you can see now that they named these 2 12-hour blocks by the gods that ruled the very first hour of the day. So Saturn Day, Sunday, and Moon Day. Saturday, Sunday, and so on, till this cycle of 7 planets, or gods, in 24 houses fits into our 7 days of the week. So there you have it. We now know why it is Thursday today, at least for me anyway. The system we use today is a Germanic adaptation of a Romanized Greek interpretation based on Mesopotamian astronomy and an Egyptian understanding of time. Many of these ideas came together when Alexander the Great took over much of the known world and drew together the ancient world's knowledge during what is called the Hellenistic period. Now, our days of the week reflect a legacy of gods and celestial bodies that continue to shape the rhythm of our lives today. So keep this in mind the next time you look at the days of the week. They're more than just labels. They're a living connection to thousands of years of human history. An example of how ideas, cultures, and belief traveled across vast distances and through time. All right, that's it. I appreciate all your support, and thank you for watching. Cheers.